Morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Can anyone just type in the chat box if they can hear me? Perfect. And can you see the screen as well? Perfect. Thank you so much. We'll wait for a few more minutes because we have quite a few registrations and let's wait for people to sign up. We should start in the next 5 minutes. Oh, it's not yet time, so we have time. Someone's raised his hand. Amriya, I'm just unmuting you. Yes, tell me. Amriya, would you like to say something? You've raised your hand.
Hi, good morning. I'm sorry, it's by mistake. I'm so sorry.
Good morning, everyone. I am still waiting for a few more people to sign in. I've just got 119 people who signed in, and there are about 500 registrations. So please give us another 2, 3 minutes and then we shall start. Well, it is 5 minutes over now, so I think we waited long enough. We should start now. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session on Research Basics with Oxford Research Resources. If you have any questions or if you have any doubts, please type them in the chat box. I will be looking at them off and on, but I will leave the last 10 minutes for questions, if any. So let's start with the basics. What do you think is research? Now, research, according to the definition in Oxford Reference Online, says it is the scientific approach to the collection and processing of information using well established techniques based on scientific principles for the purpose of answering specific questions or increasing knowledge of the phenomena of interest. Now, this is a very confusing definition. Like, it's too much of uh, you would want a simpler version. So let me just put it across very simply for you. What is research? Research is basically what? It's finding out as much as you can to prove that this is correct. Now, sometimes when I took my mom to the doctor the other day. Now, I'll start this with an example so it's easy for you to understand. And she gets a lot of pain when it's full moon or when there is no moon. So she gets a lot of pain. So she told the doctor, she said, I know you're going to laugh, but every time this happens, I'm in severe pain. And the doctor said, why should I laugh? We've heard so many people come up with the same complaint, but research hasn't been able to prove that it is the moon which causes pain. It is the moon's effect on the tides that cause pain. We haven't been able to prove it. So, people are studying, they're trying to find out as much as they can. They're constantly doing research. Research is finding out as much information as you can get with relevant examples to prove that what you're saying is correct. Suppose you turn around and say the sun rises in the east. People will ask you, tell me, why do you say the sun rises in the east? You need to have definite proof. The earth is round. So there are so many reasons. You can't just say the earth is round. The earth is round because people have proved it. People who went to the moon took pictures of the earth and they said the earth is round. Magellan, when he traveled around the world from wherever he started, he came back to the same place. So that automatically proves that there is something, some study that has gone on to prove that it is correct. That is research. So you find out as many answers, as many reasons to back up why your findings are correct. That is research. And generally, how do you start your research? When you have a research project, the first step you do is you start looking for sources. Where do I get this information from? And obviously, not every source is reliable. And you, as a researcher, will have to know that this is correct. Like, suppose somebody says, I got to know this from Wikipedia. Wikipedia, we don't trust. Nobody trusts it. Why don't we trust Wikipedia? Because anybody can go and change information there. So 10 people, 10 times. Then there is another one called Quora.com. 100 people putting their thoughts in. That's not reliable. There is it hasn't been peer reviewed. It hasn't gone through the rigorous process of checking for authenticity. So you, as a researcher, have to know that this is the correct source of information and this is not the correct source of information. Suppose you tell someone that this is it, people generally ask you, what is the source of this information? Where did you get this information from? You just can't make up something and write it on your own. So when you are doing your research, how will you differentiate what is right, what is wrong, what is reliable, what is not reliable? And the internet, it's a huge place. And whatever it is, no matter what we say, whether you're doing a project for your class 4 child or whether you are doing a project for your own work in your master's degree, we all start with Google. True, we all start with Google. And then from Google, we move on to wherever we have to go. And like I said, in the internet, there are people who put in whatever they want, all their thoughts. I remember posting something on Facebook once, after which I stopped using Facebook. I put up a quotation or something, and Facebook wrote to me saying that we have discovered that this information is not authentic. It was a real slap on my face. Now, it was just a forward that I posted on Facebook, but Facebook objected to it. Imagine a site like Facebook. So people can say whatever they want online, and many websites don't even go through, that rigorous view of process of peer review. What do we at Oxford University Press do? We ensure that all the resources that we have, we have a whole lot of resources. We have journals, we've got, most of you have attended my sessions on how to publish with Oxford journals and my session on citations. So Oxford has about 43 online products. We've got journals, we've got ebooks, we've got medicine, we've got law, we've got art, we've got music, we've got bibliographies, handbooks, reference, encyclopedias, dictionaries. You name it, we have it. So, what do we do? Every resource that is there, which is why we say it's not easy to publish with OUP, because anything that is published under the OUP umbrella is authentic, it is peer reviewed, and it is genuine. You can safely cite it anywhere you want. And that's very, very important. So we provide digital editions of many of our most acclaimed scholarly and reference works, as well as academic and research journals. This I've already told you. And we cover a whole lot of subject areas. The only subject area we're not very strong in is information technology and engineering. So today we are going to talk on three resources, and I will show you how the research journey progresses using these three sites. Our topic for the day is smart searching. And for smart searching, I'm just going to make use of these three platforms to show you how you can do your smart searching. So let me just introduce each of these platforms to you. Can you see the Oxford Handbook screen? Someone just type it in the chat box. Jason, I cannot give you this PowerPoint presentation, but you will receive a recording, a link to the recording of the session. So here we are. We're talking about Oxford Handbooks. What is Oxford Handbooks? It is a collection of scholarly research reviews. People who are subject matter experts give their research reviews here. And on this platform, this is how Oxford Handbooks is in numbers. We have 42,000 plus articles, 1,200 plus handbooks with contributions from 44,000 authors. We cover about 17 subject areas and there are about 98 editors. So can you see so many people working in the background to make sure that what you get is accurate? So this is what the homepage looks like. It's oxfordhandbooks.com. If you type Oxford Handbooks in Google, this is the first site that will come to you. There is always a featured article at the center of the page. On the right-hand side, you will find a link to the guided tour. There's a PowerPoint presentation, a PDF, and a video which tells you how to use the site. But I will be running you through this. If you want an Excel spreadsheet of all the titles that are available in this handbooks collection, just click on this hyperlink and it will download the sheet for you. If you want to connect with us, if you want to write, put in your thoughts, visit the OUP blog. For those of you who have attended my sessions will know I have shown you what the OUP blog looks like. And you can actually put in your thoughts in the blog, and if it is authentic, or you can share, like I said, if somebody's discovered something already, somebody's writing about it, and you have a little more to add to it, you can always add in the blog section. You can find us on Facebook, you can tweet, post and share, and you can also send us feedback. And there is the newsfeed column at the bottom of the right hand side. These are the different subject areas. So generally, when all of us do our search, what do? We always do a quick search. So let's say I'm looking for something like right to education. This is something that is very close to my heart. I think each child should be. So whenever you are, now certain rules about smart searching. When you are searching for more than one word, if there are two or three words, if it's a phrase, please remember to put it in inverted commas. If you put it in inverted commas, it will look for the phrase as a whole. So otherwise, if there is no inverted commas, it will look for right separately, it will look for to separately, and it will look for education separately. So your searches will probably be 600. But if you look for right to education as a phrase, you'll probably get a shorter search result. Yeah. So now you see we're getting 152 articles. because it's looking for it as a complete phrase. The first thing that you will do after you have found 152 articles is you will keep narrowing your term. First thing you will do is you will look for unlocked, that is, what is it that you have access to? Or if you are looking for free content because you don't have a subscription, you can always click on free. And the red padlock says what you don't have access to. Your subscription has not subscribed to those particular books under this section. So generally you do your filter here. You move on. Now you're looking for right to education. You can always do an advanced search. I will come to this a little later. Right now we're just doing simple searching. Now you're looking for right to education, maybe in terms of sociology. Probably you're looking at it from social theory or let's say economic sociology. You can choose whichever subject you're looking at. Now we have two articles. You see, because we've searched for right to education as a phrase, everywhere where there is right to education, it will come as highlighted. Let's just open this first article. Now, this article is from this particular handbook. This is the name of the book. It tells you which year it was printed in. It was in print. It tells you which year it was printed online. Excuse me. And it also gives you the DOI number. What does the DOI do? The DOI is a digital object identifier. It's a permanent reference number. Please excuse me. How is it useful? Because it's a permanent reference number, it will never change. So after 20 years, if you are still looking for a particular, let's say you're looking for cybercrime during the pandemic. Now, there is so much research written around COVID and so much cybercrime happening. Is it possible for you to read everything that is available? Not humanly possible. But if the lecturer comes and tells you when you're doing your research on cybercrime during the pandemic, say 20 years later, a sibling is doing his research, and the lecturer says, refer to these particular articles, and he gives the DOI number, automatically the person will be able to pull it up. It makes work much easier. So it's of great use to the lecturers, to the librarians, as well as to the students. This is what the chapter is, and you can actually look at this here. You can go and browse through these chapters in the book. If the lecturer says refer to page 65, if you type page 65, it will take you to page 65 here. So the page 65 here corresponds to page 65 in the hard copy of the book, in the print version. So this is what is Oxford Handbooks all about. Your basic search always starts with this. I'm leaving the advanced search to a later level. We will come to that. I'm just doing what a quick search is all about. You can also browse by subject. Let's say you're interested in history. These are the different subject areas, and let's say we're looking at history. If you're interested in looking for something specific, just let me know. I will. So Under history, you see there are 1,844 articles and there are 62 books. Let's not look at articles, let's just look at the number of books that we have in history. So there are two tabs here. So you see, we've got so many books here. And because I'm logged in with the Oxford credentials, I pretty much have access to everything, which is why you see a green padlock. So you can look at these books and you can see what you want to. Let's talk about this, the Oxford Handbook of Food History. This sounds interesting. And this is what the book looks like. You'll get the print publication date, the online publication date, and you get the TOI number. And this is the entire book. So you can just see which chapter you're interested in, or if you're interested in reading the entire book. So let's read this. Let's open this chapter. You can simply view it as a PDF, save it on your desktop, and read it when you're not connected online. You can print, you can save, you can email it to a friend, and you can share it on social network. Now, if you look here, it says, Welcome Sumita Sen. Let me just save this. Now, to get your work saved, you need to create your account. With the pandemic, all of us have become pros at shopping online. I used to hate the concept of shopping online. I always thought it was great to go to the store, see it, physically feel it, and buy it. Anyway, now all of us are comfortable with shopping online. When you shop on Amazon, you have to create your own account. Otherwise, you cannot buy it. Here, you can do your research, but you won't be able to save it. So to save anything or for it to be it, this is like, when you go to the library, you have your own library card. You go and you enter your library. After that, you choose a few books and you want to put them carefully somewhere so that you will read them later. This is exactly what it does. It creates your own personal bookshelf. See, I've just saved this. It's showing it to me here. I'm going back. Now, why you need to create your account is the biggest advantage is it keeps your work saved, your research saved. So maybe right now when you're reading this, you're probably looking for something else, but you find this article very interesting. And you say, okay, I'm going to read this later. Right now, for this project, I don't need it. But when I'm free, I'll read it later. Similarly, when you're shopping in Amazon, what do? You say, I'm going to read this later. I'm going to buy this later. And so you write save for later. You click on save for later. So it remains in your history, your search history. That's the same thing. The other reason why you can do is you can annotate. Now, do you know what annotate is? When we were in school, we would sit with a pencil and the teacher would ask us to underline a few important lines in a book. And then she would say that write down your notes or write whatever, against this, put down this. That is what annotation is in the digital world. So this is something that I want to annotate. So I write, this is an important point, reference later. I've written my own notes, whatever you want to write, and you save it. Once you have annotated something, that part will be highlighted. so that you don't keep redundantly constantly saving the same thing. So this will tell you that you've already annotated this. When you go to my work, you will find your annotations here. So this is the importance of creating your account. It will always show you what is the latest search you have done. So let me now do a search on cybercrime. And let me just, now you see in my searches, it's showing three. I've looked for three things. It will also show up in my work. If I save my search, it will show up in my work. Here we are. So this is what Oxford Handbooks is all about. It's a collection of scholarly research reviews. Let's just go. I'm going like it's an outstanding collection of the best handbooks across many subject areas. So for quick reading, if you need reviews, this is where you should come. This is the platform you should go to. Let me move on to my next platform, which is Oxford Reference Online. The searching, browsing remains the same. You can do a quick search on anything. But this has a little more than what Oxford Handbooks has. These are the subject areas, and these are the different reference kinds that you have here. So when you are searching in Oxford Reference, you will probably be able to read overview pages. You will get subject references, timelines, that is which age, which period you're looking for. It will also give you quotations. Next time when you want to put a post on Instagram and you want a good quotation, this is where you should come. It will also give you dictionary definitions and bilingual dictionary. So what kind of reference are you looking for is what you can choose from here. This is simple duplication of functionality. The same subject areas that you see here are here. What does this do? It answers with authority. It gives you information which is absolutely accurate. It is like when I tell you this is right, it is right. So when Oxford Reference tells you that this is what you were looking for and this is the information available, be sure it is absolutely correct. And the other features remain the same. You'll have a featured title, you'll have the list, the full title list. You can look for free research tools here. All of this is pretty simple. Let's do a quick search here on something like, let's say, let me do a simple search like influenza. Now, why have I chosen influenza and not written flu? Flu is a very colloquial term. So when you search for flu, you'll probably get many more entries than you will get for influenza. But you are interested in knowing not colloquial information, you're interested in real solid research, which is why I typed influenza instead of flu. So I'm just showing you these platforms before we move on to our search. Now it says we have 857 entries. 4 books and 857 entries. So there is an overview of influenza. You can actually read this. Then you see it tells you here you have the different references. I'm interested in quotations on influenza. Let me see what kind of quotations are there. Sounds pretty interesting. So these are the different quotations that come in. There's a quotation here. There's a quotation here. We call the cold a cold. This is by Arnold Bennett. You can open this book and you see all the quotations on influenza available in this book. You will be able to see them. We call the cold a cold. So here it's giving you all the ones that are available, all the quotations, but on influenza is this one. I'm going back. I'll go back again a little. I'm purposely going back. Now, we've seen quotations. I'm interested in timelines. Under influenza, during 2000 before Christ, or during the First World War, 15,000 years ago, social and domestic. So it tells you what kind of a reference type is it. You're looking for a timeline. And you can open up whatever you want if you think it is relevant enough, because this just gives you the abstract and you can further read from here. What you can also look at is, so I've shown you timelines. Overview pages will be an overview on it. Let's look at dictionary definitions. Here. So what is influenza? It is from the Canadian Oxford Dictionary. This is what influenza means. From the Australian Oxford Dictionary, this is what it means. In the English Dictionary, so you have different versions of influenza from here. I go back again and let's look at bilingual dictionaries. So you see it's Oxford Italian Dictionary, English to Italian. Let's take a look at this, not that I know Italian. And I can open the entire dictionary as well and look for words. Say I'm looking for words starting with H. Oh, I must have clicked. Just choose the word. In, Ita- in Italian, gymnastics is ginnastica. Interesting. So you can even learn a new language using this. You can look at bilingual dictionaries. So what's a gypsy called in Italian? Gypsy is called a zingaro. Wow, I didn't know this. This is nice. So it can help you learn a new language as well if you go to the bilingual dictionary. Interesting. So this is how, you just need to keep browsing and searching, keep trying your hand at different search results. So I've shown you English dictionaries. I've shown you, subject reference will be something like a normal search that you do in handbooks. but I'll just show it to you. Here we are. So here you see it's from the Oxford Dictionary of Word Origins. Right? Now let me just go back to the home page and let me just do a general search from here. And I've purposely chosen timelines. And when I choose timelines, and I'm interested in a particular subject, let's say I'm interested in science and technology, I won't go to. So I'm interested in society and sciences, society and culture. Let's go to commerce and industry. So you see, it gives you in this timeline whatever happened. So in 350 BC, that's before Christ, private financiers in Athens give loans, take deposits, change money from one currency to another. So this is what happened in this particular year. You see, you can always keep, and if you want to give, this is where it has come from. So this is about Oxford reference. Do you want me to go a little more into detail on this, or should I just continue with my presentation? Jennifer, I'll come back to your question a little later. Noor, you said you want me to do a little more searching around this. So, okay. See, dictionaries, bilingual dictionaries, all of you know what a dictionary looks like. I've shown you what a bilingual dictionary is. It will give you the meaning of a particular language. So this two, I think, are fairly easy. Timelines I've shown you. I'll just do a little more on timelines because this is definitely an interesting one. Art and architecture. Now here, you can also choose by what content set, whether you want a reference set or whether you want a quick reference. Maybe I want a quick reference on architecture. Okay, there was nothing in quick reference. So let's just let this be. Let's just see what we get in architecture otherwise. So under architecture, we're getting right from the beginning, 1000 BC, till it moves on and on. So you'll see it's constantly moving ahead. So most of the best paintings come from the Italian Renaissance period. So you can look at it from here. So under timelines, if you're interested in looking at something from a specific time area, you can look for it. The other interesting one is quotations. Now here you see we have 16,000 entries. Let's do a search on, now there are so many books on quotations. Now I want a quotation on, let's say, friendship. On friendship, you see I have 110 entries. This is interesting. To like and dislike the same things, that is indeed true friendship. You can actually see these from here. So this is a quotation by this. So if you want, you can always cite it on any social media or sometimes I used to post a lot of stories on LinkedIn earlier. I don't get the time to do it now. And I used to always start with a quotation, and my source of quotations would always be Oxford reference. So if you see my LinkedIn profile and if you are able to see my stories, once upon a time, that was long ago, I stopped posting on LinkedIn now. Very interesting. Every story, the moral would start with a quotation. So this is Oxford reference types. The others are very simple, subject reference, all of that you can automatically. It's as searching as handbooks. The extra bit was timelines, quotations, and bilingual dictionaries. These are three things that are unique to this platform. The third platform that I want to talk about is Oxford bibliographies. Now, bibliographies is a very interesting topic, a very interesting platform. This is something that every researcher, because it's a collection of thousands of bibliographies of a particular subject area in one place. And this is a site where you don't need to go at the beginning of your search or at the middle of the search or at the end of your research. You can refer to it anytime. It doesn't specifically say that you must start your research from here. In the middle of your research also you will find. And when you're searching for something, you will see that automatically you'll be able to link it. Let me start with something like poverty. It gives you thousands of bibliographies. So you see, here you have 1983 articles and so many citations. You can clear all and you can look for poverty related to educate. Let's look at poverty related to criminology. I don't even know whether we'll get anything, but let's see. Yeah, community disadvantage and crime. This is a very, very touching. And the word that you are looking for is highlighted throughout. You can switch off that highlight if it is irritating you. Every article will begin like this. It will have an introduction, it will give you a general overview, and it will give you the citation information. So every time you do a search, it will give you information like this. You can click on find the source, and unfortunately, it doesn't show for me, but if you are logged into a laptop, you can actually try doing it. If you click on find this resource, it will give you options like um, uh, Google Bookstore, WorldCat. It will give you options like that. But for me, it will just show find it in your library. And when I go to find it in your library, it will only show me the library, the UK Oxford library. So for me, this does not work because I've logged in with the Oxford credentials. But you can try doing this. I'm going to go back and let's look at the citations. So these are the different citations that have been done on this. And it tells you why this citation is there. It's giving you its notes. You can say, people have cited from this book, this particular book that we looked at. People have cited on poverty related to crime. These are the different citations people have done. So if you want to find where this resource is, I cannot see it. You will be able to see Google and the different places where this particular citation is from. You can save the site. It also gives you the DOI number, interestingly. You can save the citation. You can export the citation, depending on the citation software, and you can share the citation as well. You can email the citation or copy it. So it tells you where it is from and why it is linked here. So when you are doing your research, you have so many different products to do your research from. Apart from journals and ebooks, of course, is textbooks. Apart from journals, you have handbooks, depending on the kind of research you want. If you want a very, very in depth analysis, I would ask you to go to journals. But if you want quick references, you go to Oxford Reference. If you want a review, a scholarly review, you will go to handbooks. And if you're interested in citations, different kinds of citations, that people have cited on a particular topic to expand your research, you will go to bibliographies. Just as it says, your best research starts here. You can also browse by subject. So let's take communication. Let's look at communication. So under communication, you see we have so many searches. Let's take adolescence and media. Every search will begin like this. It will have an introduction, it will have a general overview, then it will have the citations themselves. These are why is this under here? These are the different people, these are the different citations that have been done. This is taken from the handbook of this, and this is the citation itself. Have you understood this before I move on? Can I get a buy-in from you guys? Can someone just say yes? If you haven't, I will explain bibliographies. Any questions so far? Clear. Thank you. Perfect. Now let's go back to our presentation. So I've shown you the different platforms that you can do research from, apart from doing your research from any of our journals or any other Google. I've just shown you 3 sites where you could go and do your research from. Uh, Now we're going to talk about effective searching. Now, like I told you, the minute your lecturer tells you to do a research paper, what do? You start with Google, all of us do. And then when we don't find what we're looking for, we keep browsing page. Usually the most important information comes in the first page itself, in the first 10 searches. But then you go on from page 1 to page 10 on Google, you keep on browsing. However, when you're doing real scholarly research, which is the best place you would go to? Instead of going to Google, the best search would always be to your library site. Because your library homepage has so much information from different publishers. You have information from Oxford, you have information from Wiley, you have content from Elsevier, you have content from Lippincott, different publishers. I, as an Oxford trainer, would say you go and choose Oxford University Press because you will get the right information. Go to your library homepage and just choose Oxford University Press. And then From Oxford University Press, you probably have research to books, to handbooks, to bibliographies, whatever you have. Your next step, or even if you've not chosen Oxford and you've chosen Elsevier or Wiley, any other publisher, your next step would always be to look at the different resources you have from these. Or maybe from your library page, you can just choose which subject you're interested in. Maybe you're interested in looking at, say, um, legal rights. So if you look at legal rights, everything from different publishers will show on your library page. So instead of beginning your research from Google, the best page to start your research would always be your university's library page. Sorry. Once you have gone to your library page and decided, your next step will always be to formulate a search strategy. How will I start? First thing you will do is you will choose the right keywords. If you choose the right keywords, it will give you the right information. And then you will have to combine them into a properly crafted string. That I'm looking for poverty, I'm looking for economic inequality, and I'm looking for, let's say, poverty, economic inequality, and let's say jobs. This is how I want to look for it. And then you can evaluate your results. If you still don't get what you want, you can keep adjusting your strategy to search. How would you generate keywords? The most important thing in doing a smart search, in doing a proper research, is choosing the right keywords. What is a keyword? Keyword is the most important part of your research question. What is it that you are looking for? It could be one word, it could be many words. If there are many words, if they're called key phrases. And it is most important for you to choose the right keyword. If you're looking for, let's say, um, food or delicacies of Malaysia, you would put that in inverted commas and see what you get. What are the key food items that it shows you? I just use food because food is a very normal search. Another good way to create more keywords is to narrow down your topic by using the five W's and H. The five W's are who, what, when, where, why, and how. So, who who are you looking for this research? What is it that you're looking for? Which time range are you looking for? So, I am looking for um, distressed people during the pandemic. Now, this you don't have to put all in one phrase. That can also be moved into further research, which is advanced research. I'll come to that in a short while. So make sure that you have organized your words one by one. Sit and see. These are things that I'm looking for. And which one is a top priority? I will do examples. This I have already explained to you. This is very important using quotation marks. Now, see food. Why did I talk about food? Eating disorder. When people are tensed, they tend to eat more. When people are sad, I know people who are depressed, the first thing they'll do is they'll go to a restaurant and order their favorite food. And they'll just keep on eating. It's a disorder. How can you keep eating all the time? I have a friend who just eats, and the minute she doesn't have food, she's hungry. Hungry plus angry. She just eats. She doesn't care about her weight, she doesn't care about her looks. She just eats, and she eats all the time. It's a disorder. And why does she eat? Because she's had a very sad past. So I think that's the way she gets comfort. She looks for it in food. So you can see if you're looking for eating disorder, your next search could be depression. And then it could be something like mental health. You decide how you want to break up your search. Then suppose you're searching for obsessive compulsive disorder. If it is more than one word, always put it in quotation marks. And then we have the Boolean search. This is the most important technique of quickly searching. These are the three terms that they use. What does and do? And will only contain all the terms, articles that contain all the terms, and will make your search simpler. Suppose you're looking for um, eating disorder or depression. It will help you to look for eating disorders linked with depression. Or if you want eating disorder and not depression, not related to depression, there is an eating or a disorder minus depression also. So it will eliminate anything to do with depression. It will leave out depression. So you can do eating disorder or weight gain. So either you're looking for weight gain or you're looking for eating. If you're looking for eating disorder and weight gain, how it's related to each other, or and depression, then it will contain all the terms and make your search simpler here. And not will eating disorder, not depression. That means you only want to know about eating disorder, but not related to depression. That is Boolean search. That is what I would want to show you. I am just going to go back to the platform just to do an example of a Boolean search. Let me go to handbooks. I'll just show it to you on one platform. The process is the same. Let's say I'm looking for right to education. When I come to right to education, here you see on the left hand side it shows. Here I can choose what I want it to be. So I want everything related to, and then I can choose an Boolean search from here. I want right to education and I want economic inequality. Because people are so divided in their economic status, a lot of children, poor children, are deprived of education. So I want right to education and economic inequality related to this. I can add a row and I can say not, or let me choose or poverty. So I want right to education related to economic inequality or to poverty. Let me see if I'm able to get any search. So here, it will actually show me all the words that have this. Now, since it's showing me this, I would want to remove this one. I'm removing this one. And I'm just searching for right to education related to economic. So I've looked for right to education and economic inequality. Why can't I get something on economic inequality? Okay, let's do a simpler one. Not related to poverty. I want right to education not related to poverty. Let's see if I can find something. See. So it has eliminated poverty completely. There's nothing on poverty here. It is only talking about right to education. Let's do another search here. Let's do eating disorder. I want eating disorder and I want it related to depression. Depression and obesity. See, if you choose the right words when you're doing your research, you will find the right searches. Is that clear so far? Yes, you can connect your search results to a citation manager like Mendeley, but for citations, we do another search. So we do another session. I will be starting those sessions in April. You can always sign up for those. Is this clear so far? Any questions? Okay, so we'll move back. So you've understood what a Boolean search is and how it makes your life much simpler. I could also choose insomnia, not related to aging. Insomnia is happening to the young also. So I don't want anything to do with aging, but I want about insomnia. But it does not have to be related to aging. So it will eliminate everything to do with age and it will only give you searches related to insomnia minus age. Or it could be insomnia not related to anxiety. Let's see what we get. So it has removed anything to do with anxiety completely. Clear? Now what happens? Now you have found, maybe you found something very interesting in Oxford research online, or you found something very nice in bibliographies. And from bibliographies, what happens is when you're looking at those citations, you don't have access to that particular book. You've looked for find the resource, but your library does not have that book. I've already told you to always use your library website to your library page to do your research. If you're not getting it, what you should do is speak to your librarian. Some databases will give you full text of every single article that appears as a search result. Some will say you need to subscribe. In that case, you will have to check where that resource is. If it is not in your library, it will show you the library closest to you, which has that resource. So maybe if it is not in University of Malaya, it probably might be with, let's say, UTM or UPM. So if you have a friend in UPM, you can ask her to share it with you. Then we move to access to citations. So like, for example, bibliographies. Bibliographies does not provide you the actual article. It only gives you citations. You see, it gave you an introduction to the topic, it gave you an overview, and it gave you all the citations related to that topic. So the different people that are cited, the different citations related to that. So what does that happen when you see so many citations? You can understand that, okay, around this topic, I can fit in this citation here. The information about each publication is called a citation. How will that help you? You can locate that publication in your library or online. I told you it will show you Google Books and in Google Preview, you can get a preview of the book. And if you're interested, you can buy the book from Google. Or if it is not in your library and it is available in a library close to you, you can take it from there. Citations are extremely important because they are a well-established measure of research impact. Because you are validating it, you are giving recognition to the person who has said this. So you're validating your research. So I have already done a demo on advanced search. If you want to take a look at bibliographies and do a research, an advanced search on this, you can always click on advanced search. So let's say I'm looking for, no, I would take poverty, I would take and economic inequality. Please remember, guys, this is not Google. If you put the wrong spelling, and I'm not interested. So I can either choose and or not, but don't confuse your search by adding too many. You can keep adding rows, but what kind are you interested in? Now, see, look at the advantage of bibliographies. That's the reason I'm doing a Boolean search on bibliographies. You're looking for full text on poverty. You're looking for, you can choose captions, whatever you want here. I'm still sticking to full text. If you're interested in all text or interested only in citations, and from where? So let's say we're interested in web resources. Let's choose citations only from web resources. And I can always choose a subject. So I could choose, I was looking for economics. Let's look at anthropology. Let's see if we have anything in anthropology. Nothing. Okay. Oh God, what did I do? Let's do an advanced search again. Or let's do eating disorder and not depression. So eating disorder, not related to depression. And I'm interested in citations only. I'm going to choose web resources. Let's see if I get anything. I'm not choosing a subject here. I'm just letting it be. From here, again, if I want, I can still narrow my researches. I can move on to psychology, but we just removed depression from there. But let's see if psychology shows us something. So this is a citation here. So we've got something here. So you can actually play around and search for what you want. Remember, when you are searching, this is what you will look like. This is what will happen to your brain because you'll find so much, and the more you read, the more confused you'll get. So you will have to calm down, think that no, this is what I don't need. What I don't need is first you will eliminate. It is best to do an elimination first and then focus on what you need. Even when you're shopping for clothes, what do? You filter out. You don't want anything in white, so you leave out white. You want something, or you don't want anything in red. So that search does not show you any clothes related to red. That's the same policy that you will apply when you're searching. When with these search results, you will be confused. Sometimes you will get a lot of information that you don't need, and it is tough. So make sure that you keep on modifying. Don't give up. Don't say there's nothing because from the very first search attempt, you will not get exactly what you want. Once you've got your searches, what's your next step? You have to check how many results are there. Oh, there are 400 results. Too many. I don't have so much time. Or maybe you've got only two results. That's very little. You need much more. So go through the results, check out, add a few more keywords. Just think of it as a process. And very soon, you will get what you're looking for. You just need to browse through different platforms. And believe me, don't go to Google, start your research from your library page because that will give you access to what your library subscribes to. It will make your search process much simpler. So, what are the key takeaways of our session? You will use Oxford bibliographies because your best research starts there. It gives you a whole lot of citation information. It tells you why the citation is linked to this particular topic. It gives you a complete overview. Oxford Reference. It is a dynamic digital platform. You can learn a new language. You can look at the dictionary meanings. You can look at articles. You can look at timelines. So there's so much that you can see. You're interested in a particular time frame. You're interested in, um, say, what happened during um, 1972, the 1971 Indochina War, for example. You want to find out, so you can look at a time frame and get the right information. You can look at Oxford Handbooks, which is a collection of scholarly research reviews. Any questions? Um, Nakib, if you're not getting it, did you search from your library page or did you search from Oxford? Khalid, you've said that as I know of some of the articles, to get them, you have to pay for them. So if your library does not have a subscription, every article will always say, find this resource. And it will show you which is the closest library that has it. So you can always check if a friend has that. We look at the other questions. Anakib, you said you looked for it in Oxford. So if that is not available in Oxford, you can check if it is available with other sites available on your resources available in your library site. In Oxford reference that history research tools. I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question, Benish. Oxford reference history research tools. History research tools, I think, would be related to timelines. That's what I think. I've not understood your question though. Okay, what I want you to do is if you have any questions that you think have not been answered now and you would want a little more clarity, please write to me. My email address is given here, sumita.sen@oup.com. Write to me. I will happily answer all your questions. Yeah, Jennifer, I think, if you send me an email on this question, I'll be able to put it down in steps for you. Any questions? Thank you so much for your time, for being a wonderful audience, and have a good rest of the day. Bye.